our show is live. Our broadcast is...
And it's a priest.
It's a priest.
For BlazingGlory.
Versus a druid. BlazingGlory with a priest here. And, whoa, surprised by that. You're going to see after the game the decks standing screen, so what decks they got prepared for us today. And it's a ramp druid versus the priest incoming. This could get extremely interesting. We see an ooze already in Blazing's hand. That's more or less absolutely useless.
Well, he has a 2-drop at least,
and
which is okay.
I'm surprised that he decides to not go for Northshire turn 1. Like, there is the possibility of it's a ramp druid and there's no turn 2 play coming. If he has a Raz, it will come anyways.
Well, he already has the Berserker on his hand. So he could go for a turn 3 play, where he just drops it, coins, puts the Northshire Cleric, and then goes for Circle of Healing, which immediately gives him card draw. And then on turn 4, he has a following play with the Chillwind Yeti.
If he wants to go absolutely sure, he keeps that play for this. He could have also, well, baited out and then Raz on his Northshire Cleric, and then keep his Ooze alive. So there were some plays. In the end, he decided to do exactly what you said. And as we see in Numberguy's hand, well, that's not trouble for him, but that's annoying. How you're going to get a 4/7 minion killed? He can put down a Zurdrake, he can put down a Yeti, but I would have preferred the Yeti here, since the Zurdrake can just get traded and then he heals up his minion. Easy mode.
I think that was a mistake by him, to be honest. Like, maybe he wanted the card draw, but I don't see the need for it. Like, Chillwind Yeti was most definitely the best play there.
Absolutely. It would have survived if he's not running in his Northshire Cleric. Do not expect him to do that, actually. And now he gets 2 Northshire Clerics, can trade, draw 2 cards. This is really amazing for him. That's the draw you want to have. And he has even a Holy Nova. So next turn, he can just play it and draw 4 cards in total. It is madness, especially we know there is no, well, there might be a Cairn in his hand. Wow, cheer for it. But there is no, well, swipe, something to kill, maybe 1, maybe 2 with his hero ability. That hurts a lot. That Cairn will be annoying, don't get me wrong. He could even Cairn double Innovate into Yeti. And that's, well, it's quite strong to have such a board.
Well, you would need to use double Innovate, invest so many cards. Yes, you could go for it, and I agree that the 4 damage, like the 4 attack minions, are the strongest against the priest, because there is no way he can clear them, especially if they are beefy, especially if they have a lot of HP. Except, like, there's one exception: if he plays in Crazed Alchemist and changes the HP, he could go for Shadowwood Death.
I expect there is 1 Crazed Alchemist roaming around. If he would use it for a 5/4, not sure, but I mean every other minion in the Druid has 5 attack. If it's not having 4 attack, it has 5 attack. Ancient of Lore, Ancient of War, Scenarios. So they're all targets of Shadowward Death. Now he's kind of in trouble. He could just play, he could attack and heal, which is
he could attack with his 4/5
and Holy Nova
and draw 4 cards. The problem is then he would lose the next card, the card he draws next turn, but he would trigger the first. Yeah, he would trigger Bane, for example. He would kill Cairn, get Bane.
I guess he's really thinking about the Holy Nova play, but it's gonna cost him 1 card, and that's so annoying. It's just 1 card out of 30, but it could be that 1 card you definitely want to keep. The really good thing is he's just drawing up really high now, and well, there's Argus, a Circle of Healing additionally. So if he wants to go super crazy mode, he just plays a circle and draws 2 more cards, which is just stupid, but throwing it out to you. And Numberguy's hand is really nice for Druid. Well, as we said in this matchup, you just want to get 4 drops out, as many 4 HP drops as possible. And that's what he's, well, planning to do, I would say. Just go double Innervate and maybe charge up your Druid of the Claw. He could clear the entire board now.
Well, if he goes for double innovate, but then, you know, if Number Guy just keeps the innovates, Blazing Glory doesn't know what's in his hand. You know, he doesn't know those are two innovates. Could
And
be anything.
Karen goes. I'm sorry. I saw it, and everyone saw it. Karen goes away. That hurts so much. Like losing your card. But I know what you mean. You can bait him into thinking you got more options than you actually have, since
Yeah.
2 of your cards are only innervates. Well, but as you see, Blazing has 10 hand cards. He doesn't care if you have 6, if you have 4 or 5. He has like 1 bazillion options to deal with what you could do, possibly, and can just throw stuff out himself. And it's so annoying. There's one Keeper of the Grove went out, so 1 silence is gone for the Druid, and he loses his Cairn. That's like, that's stupid, if you look at it from his position.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Oh, looks nice. It's a 4-3 and a 2-4 on the board. If he attacks with his 4-4 into the 2-4, he can at least Holy Nova it away.
Yeah, he could most definitely do that. I think he could have attacked with the Norshire Cleric against the Keeper of the Grove, rather, just to bring him down and bring Holy Nova range.
Black Knight. He top decked a Black Knight. Well played by Number Guy here, and he can exactly clear the annoying 4-3 minion. Can clear the 2. Wow, that's just super good for him. I mean, Holy Nova has now some value, but the 4-5 will still survive. As we said, just get as many 4 HP minions out as possible.
But I think that's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. You'd rather have 1 4-5 against you than 2 or 3 minions. So that's okay if he does it. And the only annoying thing is, if you Holy Nova, you kinda wanna heal yourself up at least a bit.
Yep.
So now he used Holy Nova, well, to deal the damage, but no heal was done.
That's true. And another 4 attack minion.
But he's thinking maybe, yeah, he wants to charge it up, but he wants to taunt it up too. But so late in the game, you cannot afford charging or you cannot afford taunting it up.
Because of the Black Knight.
It could just get Black Knighted, and that's too risky.
I agree to some extent, but wouldn't you save your Black Knight against, for example, Ancient of War?
Well, he has 2 Shadow Word Death in his hand, so it would be okay.
True, true.
That would matter. Instant value overweighs maybe value. So if he's not even playing Ancient of War, by now we might have seen a Ramp Druid in form of an Wild Growth, but we see only mid-rangey minions. So this is the mid-ranger Ramp Druid that he goes for a charge. He goes for damage, big minions out. He had a Yeti, he has Harvest Golems, he has the Druid of the Claw, so he threw only mid-rangey minions out, and he's winning at the moment with that.
Yep. Oh, Blade Master.
Well, that's gonna be a strong Blade Master.
Oh, perfect.
And that's the number 1 card he wants to have.
Boom. 4 damage to everyone.
The only annoying thing is, he played his Blade Master to draw a card with his Power Word Shield, to draw the Soul Priest and then use it, and that hurt him so much. And we see a double swipe for his enemy, for Number Guy, and I would have maybe considered just swiping the face, get rid of both. It doesn't matter. He has 2 innervates, so he can do everything he wants in a turn. As you said before, your enemies think you have 6 cards, but he has just double swipe, innervate, Root of the Claw. So he can do 12 damage in a turn now.
Sword Steel.
But the problem is, if he Sword Steals,
oh, that's really good.
The Kodo is good. The main problem for him is he couldn't get a swipe or something like that, since both swipes are in your enemy's hand. But that Ancient of Lore, that's super good.
Like, there is a potential of the Force of Nature Rock combo, of course, which would be 20 damage combined with the Yeti on the board. And yeah, of course, Number Guy doesn't have it, but Blazing Glory always has to account for it.
Correct there. And he just, well, uses his second silence. Is there something you need to fear? Let's consider. There could be an Izera incoming. Well, then you're screwed anyway since you cannot kill her at the moment with his hand. So rather get more minions out, get more damage done, go hard in his face. He's down to 17. So BlazingGlory is in, well, with 8 damage on the hand, 6 on the board, 2 more to deal. That's only 15 damage. That's not enough. That's not 15 damage is not enough to win the game here. He needs a roar or something like that.
The problem is BlazingGlory doesn't have any taunt, so he's super vulnerable
To everything that comes. The scenarios even. So you could get baited into, yeah, scenarios, let's buff up my minions. But since 2 Holy Novas are gone and you know those buffed up minions might die to a Shadow Word death, I would just summon my 2 small trends. That makes most sense.
Yep.
There's just no Holy Nova, and Circle of Healing Soul Priest combo is away, so he used 2 Holy Novas, he used 2 Circles of Healing, 1 early, 1 for the combo. He has a Soul Priest in his hand, but he cannot make use of it. Oh no, please don't, sir. He's considering maybe running in both minions into Sylvanas and then swiping. He could even do that and double innervate scenarios if he wants to. But I don't feel that being necessary. If he just goes for the phase and plays scenarios, it might have turned out better for him.
Yeah. I agree. Like, why would he... What could happen?
Well, what could happen?
Silence could happen.
Both get, like, as we see in BlazingGlory's hand, he can kill scenarios, he can Soul Priest 1 of the trends and then attack. So... well, he could anti-clear, but still he would drop down to... he was on 16, he would have dropped down to 10. There was a swipe still in the hand. I see more options being... well, I see it being better, keeping those minions alive, running into his face, than doing that radical clear. Now he's down to 2 trends. So that's it, what he has at the moment. 2 to 2 trees.
He needed to race there.
Well, he needs some Ancient of Lore to finally get a card draw. There's Force of Nature.
That's
so
11 damage.
He can get a lot of trends. The good thing is with his Druid of the Claw, he can deal 8 damage now, 9 damage with Hero ability. Maybe just drop your Big Game Hunter. You want to win next turn, so just drop everything, I would say. Worst case scenario, there is none because there is no area clear. You can only kill... well, he could play another Holy Fire. Let's put that on a worst case scenario. But that's it. So...
could also be another Pyromancer.
yeah, if he has another Pyromancer, that would be crazy. But he needs at least 2 spells to trigger him.
Well, that's doable. Shadow Word Pain, Power Word Shield.
I
There
guess
are plenty of spells.
I guess I would have
if you run it.
played my Big Game Hunter. Even though there's Ragnaros, it wouldn't concern you. If he plays Ragnaros now, you don't care. You just want to win next turn. You get Force of Nature plus 6 damage roaming around. There's the Holy Fire we're talking about.
Perfect.
Super lucky for BlazingGlory. So he heals himself up to 14. And that even on 16, if he wants to, only Force of Nature and Roar could kill him now or never.
Force of Nature Raw would be devastating.
Even with a Big Game Hunter out, the damage wouldn't be enough. Another Druid of the Claw. But if you had played your Big Game Hunter and he would have done the move the same way, you could do 10 damage now instead of only 6.
Still wouldn't be enough though.
That wouldn't be enough though. That's okay, but you would bring him down to 6 and then maybe you win next turn. So that's the only thing I'm thinking of as a better move. But this is not lost for no one. So BlazingGlory can heal himself up. He can just play his Soul Priest now, ping away the tree, kill the 4/4. He could heal himself up by 5. There are some good options for him. If he draws cards, that would be ballsy.
Manly.
But he heals him up to 16, and that's the best thing to do. If there's Force of Nature Roar, you're still dead. You cannot change that anyway. But you can bring yourself
think I would have played the Orkney Priest and then smite the small one away and get rid of the 4/4, because this way you will get 4 more damage. So the heal you played was more or less meh.
Well,
Not that
only
effective.
part of the heal. He healed himself by 7 in total. That was okay. And now his Ragnaros even smites away the 5/5.
Well,
But there's Blazing Glory just draws the perfect cards.
well, he had Shadow at Death regardless, but he gets another minion on the board, and that's exactly what he wants to have.
Not only another minion, he can just draw Azure Drake, Big Game Hunter, even draw a card, even heal himself up, go up to 14.
Yep.
That's looking super nice, and he's almost out of cards. That game went quite full length, it feels, but those players are doing their turns pretty fast. No one is thinking so long, and that's good to see. It keeps the pace up of the game and the action running. And Numberguy is really hoping for a roar here. If he gets it, instant win.
Roar, instant win.
A roar. What do we talk about? Roar, instant win. So you get 3 2/2 trees, and every character gets 2 attack from the roar. In total, that's 14 damage. And Numberguy goes for the one.
Goes for Rogue, most likely gonna be a miracle.
Gonna be a miracle. I'm surprised he's going rogue against Druid. Druid has a lot of heal. He could also play Healing Touch, and he's going for White Grows. We haven't seen a lot of taunters for Numberguy too, but there are some. There should be the possibility of taunters, and I'm not sure why the Miracle Rogue pick.
How many taunters did we see effectively?
Well, none.
We saw 2 Druid of the Claw and scenarios, but that's about it. So this is not too bad for a Miracle Rogue, but as you already mentioned, we know there's a Druid of the Lord in there, and we know there's a Healing Touch because he healed himself up. So that's risky for Blazing Glory, but you want to go for 1 kill combo regardless. So it's totally fine. You can deal those 20, 24, 28 damage in 1 turn as Rogue if there are no taunts. And yeah, you have saps, you have everything you need to deal with it. I think it could work out for Blazing Glory.
It could absolutely work out for Blazing Glory. In my opinion, the Druid has a slight advantage over Miracle Rogue. We even saw, well, no, the Ooze was in the Priest deck, so we don't know if Numberguy is running an Ooze or Harrison, but he already has a 2/3 minion out, and Blazing Glory, well, he can dagger it away, but takes his first 2 damage.
Yeah, and Numberguy then, we will see it in a second, it's not too good.
Well, it's okay. You can at least drop your Yeti, and that's absolutely what you want to have.
But you have Ragnaros on your hand, which is a dead card until turn 8. Well, you have the potential of Innovate. I give you that. But the Black Knight, completely useless.
Until a certain amount of turns, you're not going to make any use of him. That's absolutely true. Nice Shift Eviscerate combo if he wants to kill the Yeti, but that would be wasting your damage on a Yeti, and that's never good. As you say, hand from Numberguy, not that good. Until turn 6, only Black Knight, but he has a Raz to kill an Auctioneer maybe. That's okay, I would say.
This one is a tough choice for Blazing Glory. Because how are you going to clear it? You could go for the Shift Eviscerate combo, but then you lose a lot of damage on Numberguy. That's something you don't want, but there is no other option because he doesn't want to use his weapon, for sure.
Well, as we said, this move feels not so good. You just cleared a Yeti, but you kind of lost Shift Eviscerate 5 damage on a Yeti, obviously 5.
Yeah.
But that hurts you a lot. You do not only lose your spells you want to use later, that's just damage you really want to deal to the Druid. And now it's looking okay for Numberguy. The most annoying problem just for him is not having any follow-up move now. There is a Salnus and a Harvest Golem left over on the board.
Well, he could go for Fan of Knives.
Well, he could not. He could go if he really wants to be crazy. He could go for
Fan of Knives.
Perhaps Fan of Knives, Blade Flurry, Van Cleave. That would have been a giant ass Van Cleave. It was a really strong one. But
he knows Numberguy has a big game hunter. Well, does he know? I'm not even certain if he played. I don't think he played.
If he's not,
but he should most likely expect it.
Well, or silences, and there's two keepers of the grove roaming around, always annoying. And there's the next 4 or 5 minion.
He would need to deadly poison up, but you can't use your second deadly poison like that.
Well, he can always just Blade Flurry, weapon up, deadly poison again. That feels extremely wasty. Just ignore the 4 or 5 minion, possibly.
Well, he could also kill it. Blade Flurry, weapon up, deadly poison, play the loot hoarder, and kill with normal attack. Oh! Okay. He wants to keep his Blade Flurry.
He wants to keep the Blade Flurry, and he gets a 6/6 Van Cleave. Still, it feels so not cool, since you get a Blade Flurry on your hand, but you don't have any more deadly poison to go crazy Blade Flurry mode.
That's true. But I think it's okay to keep the Van Cleef at 6/6, because there is a potential, you know it, of the big game hunter.
There's always a potential.
That would have been, yeah, more devastating than that, because he forced a swipe and also res, which is good for him, because that's less damage that can go onto your auctioneer.
Well, first of all, backstab your own auctioneer, draw one more card. And he gets a sab, and that's super annoying since, yeah, sab, not useful. But he gets a shift as a second card. And that's more or less one of the cards you want to have. You draw one card, you draw a card from the card. And he could also just go for the next preparation. Cold-blooding his minion now with 2 HP is not that optimum. I guess we're going to see a weapon up, maybe Blade Flurry waste, something in that direction. Everything else, every other spell is too risky. If you Cold Blood up, there could be Big Game Hunter, or you just wasted maybe a Cold Blood if there is. Well, Shadow Stab is okay to use here if he doesn't want to use his Blade Flurry. But why not? He could have just attacked once with his blade, used the Blade Flurry, and then still go for his auctioneer. So he could have even drawn one more card without any effort.
Ouch.
Well, Ragnaros is okay. Well, okay. You take 8 damage, but he can bounce him once.
He's already down to 10. You can't forget that.
But next turn, if there's Force of Nature and Roar, you're dead. If there's not, you can drop 2 minions of your own, for example.
Well, it's 8 damage.
Or can he drop 2? No, he cannot drop 2. He needs to, obviously, he needs to sap. I was thinking about 2 minions and a sap. That's not working. And a conceal, too. Well, he needs to deal as much damage as possible now, so.
Well, he needs to drop minions.
He needs to drop minions and deal damage. He gets him down 27. So, next turn, he could deal at the moment with everything on the board. 10, 14, 17 plus Eviscerate is 21.
8, 6, 22.
So not enough to kill him. Not 27 HP. And Numberguy has the Ragnaros in his hand. He also has a Druid of the Claw plus Savage Roar. So 7 damage is possible, and that's unlucky.
Well, that's unlucky for Numberguy.
Yeah, that's
really lucky for BlazingGlory.
And really lucky drawing another sap.
And that's exactly what he needs.
And not only another sap, he could just drop his Azure Drake first, sap, and then Eviscerate for 5 damage.
No, I wouldn't. Well, he doesn't have any preps, right?
Correct there, sir. Well, if you saw one swipe already, you saw one ras already, you could either choose to conceal, but I guess it's just okay if you maybe drop your Drake to keep. You saw Ragnaros coming, so you need to care for those 50-50 damage. And that's really good to use here. If you use your Cold Blood now, you can do those 8 damage this turn, and next turn use your 10 mana for whatever, but you don't have to use it in your Leroy, I kill you somehow instantly turn. He's going for the blade. That's 3 damage now, and actually the most damage he can deal, plus 3 next turn, plus Blade Flurry, so he can deal 6 damage without having a deadly poison on his Assassin's Blade.
That's lethal next turn if he survives. And we don't see it. Oh, we see it.
Well, that's pretty deceiving to go for your scenarios to taunt up.
Well, he knows there's still the Blade Flurry. You cannot risk it. There's no way. You're down to 16. You know it's only 8 damage. There's still an Eviscerate. There's still a Cold Blood. Leroy is there. 1 Shadow Step. You cannot go for scenarios in this case.
The main problem is just, even if he heals himself up, even if he plays one taunter, it won't be enough to keep him alive, since there's so much damage in Blazing's hand. Alone from Leroy and the Viscerate, plus the Auctioneer, that's 10, 18 damage at the moment, plus a Blade Flurry, plus an attack. That's so much damage just waiting to be casted, and he gets even more cards from his stuff. If that's not hitting the Auctioneer, just super unlucky. Wow, he even gets him dead.
I don't think it matters.
So we got 3 damage from the blade, plus a Blade Flurry. That's 6 damage. Plus 0, 12, plus an Eviscerate. That's at the moment in my brain 16 damage.
So it doesn't matter.
Am I miscounting? No, that's 6 with the Blade Flurry, 1 attack, 1 Whirlwind. 1 attack, 1 Whirlwind, plus Leroy, plus Eviscerate. That's 16. That's 1 damage too less.
Too bad.
He could also...
That means you go Auctioneer.
And draw some more cards.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
What you want to do is absolutely...
He has another Shadow Step.
You want to heal yourself up, maybe.
Well, he knows 4 cards left. What's left? 1 more Urzine?
1 Cold Blood?
No, he used... 1 Cold Blood, yeah, exactly. 1 Cold Blood. Selnus.
Oh, he killed the Ragnaros first. No risks to be taken here. Can heal himself up. If Numberguy is drawing again his Force of Nature, he just wins instantly. That would be super sad for Blazing to lose 2 times to a Force of Nature. And he gets just a Druid of the Claw, which would be devastating too if he had, well, 2 Innervates again. That would be Druid of the Claw, Innervate, Roar, which is enough for lethal.
I think I would go for double Druid of the Claw now.
Taunt up?
Yeah, of course, taunt them up. Because, both depths are gone. Both, what it's called? Poison.
Deadly Poisons are
Deadly
gone.
Poison. So, there's no way he can clear it. Of course, there's spell damage, so you will get 4 damage, but they survive with 2 HP and are able to clear the board. There is no way you could potentially lose.
It looks good.
Wait, let me...
He will...
SI7 could be on...
Well, there's Salnus plus Blade Flurry incoming, so that's...
5 damage with another Fan of Knives. Could clear it. But then you take 5, 4, 3, 12 damage. Salnus Blade Flurry. The preps are gone. No, there's no way... Well, with an SI7 you could potentially lose.
Oh, he charges 1 up to get rid of that Drake. That's okay to do, but it's gonna be annoying. Now he can attack and then go crazy Blade Flurry for 4 damage, bring him down to 10. Again, doop doop doop. Oh, he can attack, bring him down to 10 if he wants to. And that wouldn't be enough.
Would be 1 short of lethal, right?
It would be 1 short of lethal if I'm not mistaken. So he attacks, Blade Flurries for 4, brings him down to 10 and can deal only 9 damage. He could cast another weapon, but he cannot attack twice in 1 turn.
Well, I think he should...
Well, that Druid of the Claw needs to die, first of all. It's annoying.
Yeah, of course. And you will die regardless to Force of Nature Roar.
Well, he could go for Leroy, go for the face,
and then Blade Flurry.
And then Blade Flurry.
Yeah, of course.
That's one play where you use Leroy, since there is 1 Shadow Step left, yes, but yeah, you need to think about your life and your decisions and hope you're not dying.
Doesn't use Selnus? Wants to heal himself up?
Oh, it's okay.
Doesn't make a difference? I don't see the difference.
Well, he really wants to heal himself up, and that's okay, since if you don't heal yourself up, you would die to a Druid of the Claw Roar. Oh,
You
there's
wouldn't.
there's no Druid of the Claw even left.
Yeah.
I was
You
just
play 2, and you wouldn't even die. It would be 7 damage.
now the Force of Nature is gone. The Force of Nature, the Blade Fury is gone, but there's 3 minions on the board. And even with your scenarios, you cannot defend yourself with those 2/2 totems.
That should be game.
It looks super sad for
Well, he knows it's
Numberguy.
only 1 or 2 cards left.
Just gotta say, the 2 Earthen Ring Farseers in the newer versions of the Miracle Rogue, they're pretty awesome. As you see, he just keeps himself alive without those Earthen Rings. He would have died earlier.
Yes, but to be fair here, Numberguy had bad luck with the force. Okay, it's not bad luck. 14 cards left. The rogue just went through his deck way faster.
That's not bad luck. That's just didn't even draw it. If you have 1 card out of 30, it could be the last card. If you have 2 cards out of 30, well, one could lie on top, one on the bottom, or both on the bottom. That's at least more chances to draw a card. At the moment, it looks just sad for Numberguy. Even if he heals himself up, he goes to 13, but there's 10 damage on the board, and you haven't seen Leroy. Your enemy's deck is empty. That's just definite 16 damage incoming.
Yeah, I'm out of cards. He knows Leroy is coming. Another Shadow Step is coming. It's
no Shadow Step even needed. And there is the SI7 agent. That's going to be game for BlazingGlory. He closes it for a 1-1. And we will see a third match between those 2 players.
I'm glad we see a third match.
You're
It's a control warrior against BlazingGlory. Numberguy chooses, to play that warrior in this case, and it can definitely work. But I think Rogue has chances if Numberguy is not able to armor up soon enough.
That's correct. But the version Glory's playing here is just annoying. With the Leopard Gnome, with the Azure Drake, so you cannot count on your enemy not getting his Auctioneers, but well, that's not a problem for Blazing here. He has 2 Auctioneers in his hand already, so you cannot count on him not drawing his Auctioneers, since he has even more cards to mill through his deck. There is the Azure Drake plus spell damage, there is the Loot Hoarder, 2/1 on the board, even more, some damage and more card draw. It's just super useful, and Numberguy's hand is crappy. He might have 2 Azure Drakes, he has a Whirlwind Execute, but there's no early stuff for him to get on the board. So no Armor Smith coming, no Acolyte of Pain, no Taskmasters. Like, the board you want to put right in front of you before the Miracle Rogue starts doing his magic.
And we see also in Numberguy's end, there's a Sylvanas Windrunner, and this is like a mind control, basically. If you execute herself or you just run her into another minion.
Did you just do the Artosis?
Yeah, you cannot execute your own minions.
Exactly correct.
Yeah, but I mean not the execute card, just run her into suicide was the right word.
That's exactly what you wanted to quote. That's okay. No problem, Artosis. That works for you.
Well,
Sums up.
0-3.
But it looks pretty good for Blazing, I would say, since Numberguy, well, he has a 4/4 minion out, but he's not able to accumulate that amount of armor you want to have as a control warrior, since there is an annoying 3/3 on the board. And there's Auctioneer, Coin, Backstab. There's so many cards now we could see possibly coming. Just card draw, card draw, card draw. And he's hoping for prep to maybe just...
Or conceal.
Or conceal. So many good cards to be drawn. The number one annoying thing is Eviscerate but not playable. The number one annoying thing is he needs to run in his 3/3 minion now.
And pray that his Auctioneer survives. I mean, he has another one. Still.
Well, we might see Whirlwind Execute. The only annoying thing is if you Whirlwind Execute here, nothing else you could do, potentially.
I think he goes for Fear Warwicks. And then almost up afterwards.
That's also a possible play.
Okay. Just decide against it.
Well, he really doesn't want to take any damage, but as we know, there's another Auctioneer incoming, but there's also a Van Cleef just waiting to be played, and that could turn out extremely annoying if you just used your Execute.
Yeah. Of course, he has no Shield Slam yet, but double Shield Block, so he If this is not the most horrible Beastman cleave I've ever seen, he should be able to clear it if he gets another execute. Or shield block. Shield bash. Shield slam. Whatever.
Worst case scenario, there is still somewhere a big game hunter left. But as you say, double shield block is not only good for the super shield slam, it's also pretty valuable for just getting that armor rolling.
And now he needs to play the deadly poison.
Well, he's on 3, 6.
He's on 10 cards, right?
I count 9 cards.
Is it 9? Wait, let me. 9. You're right.
That's no problem. Everyone can mess up twice, but after that, you're just getting shot probably by our boss. He's just coming into here and he's gonna shoot you.
Gelo?
Yeah.
Nice.
With his hammer.
He doesn't shoot people, just smacks them.
And that Sylvanas is more or less useless. Let's say useless. It's just getting sapped, for example. And you're happy. Yes, I got my Sylvanas. Nice work, GG, bro. And it might just get sapped, but still, she's gonna come back and back again. And we saw it. 2 faceless manipulators for a number guy. That's a pretty control-y version of the control warrior. 2 facelesses. That's not really anti-rush.
Oh.
That's more or less, I want to play against another control deck. I want to play against a Ram Druid, something like that. And he's able to shiv, eviscerate, and that's good for him. He could even drop the 6/6 now. So the 6/6 Van Cleave.
I would go for a 6/6 Van Cleave.
It seems okay since your enemy has no armor at all.
First of all, he has no armor, and there's no way, like, he would need another execute. Because he cannot, or Taskmaster Big Game Hunter, that's another option.
Or just, there's the execute, and, well, he's hoping for a shield slam now, but his draw is extremely unlucky. He could go double shield slam, but that's never cool. And that Van Cleave will just get bounced up. Now this is not cool for... This is really not cool for Number Guy. If he just sees a sap coming now, and his Van Cleave just goes as a 2/2 in your hand. And not only sap, he could also...
14 damage.
He could backstab it first to draw a card. And then just, well, +4 damage on his Van Cleave. That's super good. That could be 10 damage Van Cleave incoming. The only annoying thing is no conceal for Blazing, so you really want to conceal those 2 minions. But I guess it's okay.
I wouldn't even Cold Blood now.
You wouldn't even Cold Blood?
No.
Well, you got Leroy in your hand, you can always use it, you don't need to use it now. You can deal your 9 damage. And next turn go for 16.
I would deal 6 damage.
Oh, it's okay to just go. Since you next turn you can do the combo. Like the combo you want to do. You can go Leroy, Cold Blood, Shadow Step, Leroy. Only 7 mana used. And can even use more of your manas. And the hand of Number Guy is so sad. So he's gonna play Taskmaster, Execute, and then drop his Van Cleave. How many cards did he play?
2.
Was the Execute was 3. Should be an 8/8 Van Cleave. Nice Van Cleave for Warrior. That's exactly what you want to see.
Shield block, yeah.
Double Shadow Step. So that's Leroy, Shadow Step, Leroy, Shadow Step. That's only 18 damage. Plus a Cold Blood is 22. Plus Van Cleave is 28. Plus weapon is 31. If I'm not mistaken at all, for 9 mana, that should be...
Yep.
That should be GG here. Blazing just winning 2 times with a Miracle Rogue at its finest. He didn't even draw his whole deck. He just had the combo early on. Well, and Number Guy had a really sad draw. Double shield block, no shield slam. Second execute, but a trigger too late, so he had to face his manipulator. He should have maybe double shield blocked to dig for something to trigger his execute.
Do you think so?
It was a hard decision, and now he just loses to 3 times Leroy. That's the annoying combo. That's even more annoying than Unleash the Hounds Timberwolf. Leroy Unleash the Hounds Timberwolf.
How much damage was that in total?